You're now entering Clearview, Illinois. The name of this tale is The Shave and a Haircut Killer. Everyone said not to do a podcast in Clearview, Illinois. It pound for pound may be the capital for the mysterious and the unexplained. Well, maybe that was a consideration before I cashed my advance check. I'm at Clearview Square, which some say is where the city was founded. Well, the second city after the Potawatomi tribe massacred the first settlement over 150 years ago. So this square is the foundation of the second Clearview. In this square are essential shops that would have made up typical life in the late 1800s. A tannery, a bank, and a barber. On our podcast, I intend on discovering what became of one of the first documented serial killers, the shave and a haircut killer. Before the turn of the century, the people of this small settlement were ravaged by an epidemic of unexplained murders. Authorities were baffled when they found able-bodied men with their throats slashed from ear to ear in random places throughout the city, each man clearly shaved with freshly cut hair. These bizarre murders were said to be perpetrated by an Italian immigrant, Alonzo Bertram, in 1900. He was caught after a 3-year rampage. The residents all but rested easy, assuming that the nightmare was over. But lo and behold, the murders continued mere months after Alonzo's imprisonment and subsequent execution. Had the authorities captured the wrong man? Or did a new copycat killer rise from the ashes? The police of Clearview were baffled by the mystery, and through the ensuing years, men were accused, some jailed, others executed. The unfortunate murders continue regardless of who the blame was placed on. In the 1940s, the murders slowed to a ghastly end. Every few years, a reminder of the shave and a haircut killer came to the forefront, but not with the gruesome frequency of the others. By the 1950s, most theorists agreed that it could not be the same killer as before, or else it would put the killer in his 80s or 90s. Most didn't believe it possible for a man of such advanced age to kill able-bodied men that would, in theory, be half or even 50 years his junior. I'll start my investigation in the oldest place in town with the oldest residents. I speak with Joseph Bertrand, great-grandson to Alonzo Bertram, the supposed shave and a haircut killer. Can you tell me what you recall about your great-grandfather?
Not really much. I wasn't even born before he died. But my father told me he was the greatest barber there was.
How so?
People nowadays have fancy clippers and razors. My great-grandfather could make you into a different man with scissors and a straight razor. I have some pictures.
I did take a look at the pictures, and he was not exaggerating. He transformed people into new men. He was executed for a crime that was nearly impossible for him to have committed. Why do you think they did that?
I wouldn't know, was all Mr. Bertram had to say.
I subsequently went to all the barbershops in the area, the oldest ones I could find. Each of the barbershops in town had long-reaching histories. Each had opinions on Alonzo Bertram. None denied that he was a skilled barber, but each claimed some distant relation, the best of all time, even going so far as to show me old framed haircuts from back when taking pictures were not commonplace. I had a very insightful conversation with Mr. Tito Sanducci, patron of the shop. He explained to me how competitive it was back then, too many barbers in one place. He told me that it was so competitive that the barbers used to cut the hairs of the dead because they were much easier to pose and sit for pictures that took minutes to produce. Mr. Sanducci went on to say that most, if not all, the barbershops in Clearview were bitter rivals and feuds that had drug on for generations.
My name is Kenneth Hawk, and the images I will show you are disturbing. This is the GoPro footage of my friend and colleague, Bill Maverick. I have doctored and edited the footage for the sake of modesty, but if I knew anything about Bill, I know he'd want us to have all the relevant information on who ended his life. Bill enters an old abandoned house. It's easy to tell from his confident step he must have been given a tip. He is guided by the light of his flashlight and the digital eye of his camera. It is unclear why he is there, but he is looking for something, that much is sure. The house is dark and terrifying. He sees or hears something, perhaps a noise or something off-screen we cannot make out. He goes into a panicked run, not back the way he came, but ahead. As he sprints to the open back door, what he sees, I can only imagine the terror. Please excuse me. Bill was my friend. Okay, I think I can continue. He is met at the door by a man in a mask, a white mask, an expressionless mask. The assailant stamps him with scissors, 2, possibly 3 blows, but he's still up. Run, Bill, run! He finds his way towards a door that leads down in this dilapidated house. I cannot imagine the panic. With bloody hands, he lurches towards a cellar door. As he opens it to make his break, his attacker is 10 paces from him, a feat of speed impossible for a human to manage. In the gleaming moonlight, the attacker raises his scissored hands and rushes for Bill. He manages to slam the cellar door, but not before hearing the ominous whistle of shave and a haircut echoing from outside. It is my belief that at this point Bill knew he would not survive this ordeal, so he placed his GoPro in a shady corner. This is Bill Maverick. If anyone finds this footage, don't mention the shave and a haircut killer to anyone. Let it go. Don't drudge it up. Don't come to Clearview, Bill said as he heard the door battered to pieces. The killer menaced Bill using that innocent melody, shave and a haircut. He attempted to hide behind an ancient water heater, rusted and brown. Bill stages an ambush. It's hard to make out, but I believe he has a small knife on his person, which he manages to jab into the assailant. I believe, but I cannot tell, but I believe he strikes his attacker's hand. Emerging from the shadows is another attacker. I cannot make out where he is coming from. He stabs Bill in the back. Even at this awkward angle, it's clear his eyes go wide. He is not long for this world. Bill slumps to the floor with 2 attackers looming over him with blood-soaked scissors. It is unclear if Bill is alive or dead, but the 2 masked slashers seem to be at a disagreement. This lasts for 30 seconds, after which one man begins to cut Bill's hair with his bloody red scissors, while the other watches defensively with arms folded. After the haircut, the 2 men drag Bill out of the eye of the camera. To this day, Bill is still missing. 2 weeks after the disappearance, Bill's GoPro was found hanging from a bird's nest by German backpackers. After watching the video, I find it impossible to heed my friend's warning. I may never find Bill, and that's the reality of it, but perhaps I can find clues that could get him justice. I did a follow-up interview with Joseph Bertram. He claimed not to know Bill at all until I found a picture of Bill hanging on the back wall. It was a perfect headshot of my friend with an impeccable haircut. When I looked through the footage, he didn't have a haircut. I questioned Mr. Bertram about when he had the haircut, but he could not recall. When I asked around barbershops, I noticed Bill's picture was also on their walls. No one could nail down a time or day this happened. Inspecting the photograph, I see no remnants of the barbershop in the background, so where did they take the picture? As I was leaving Clemente Barbacoa's shop, I noticed a very recent bandage on the palm of his hand. It is in no way something that could be seen as evidence in a court of law, but it is a rather odd coincidence. With nothing more questions, I leave Clearview, and then thought of the motives of the shave and a haircut killer, and the bodies were always left out. Perhaps this killer, or killers, never stopped. Maybe they merely refined their techniques. As I reached the Clearview sign that reads, "You are now leaving Clearview, Illinois. I hope you enjoy the trip," I can clearly say, no, I don't think I did.
You are now leaving Clearview, Illinois. I hope you enjoyed the trip.